There are a couple of big priorities that we want to focus on this first year. I think the most important job of a council member is to provide excellent constituent services. I think so much of the reason people have lost faith in government generally is because they see government as being far away and non-responsive. And so even though the 5th Council District geographically is kind of far away from downtown LA, it shouldn't feel far away, right? People should feel like City Hall is accessible. So we're really going to be prioritizing that. The second big thing is priority is around homelessness. We need to slow the rate at which people are falling in, because right now more people are becoming unhoused every day than we're getting off the streets and connected to housing and services. And so focusing upstream on homelessness prevention through strengthening tenant protections, building more affordable and workforce housing, keeping people housed. The flip side of that is the people who are already on the street. We've just finished hiring a street engagement team who will be out on the streets every single day working with our service providers and our communities to connect our unhoused neighbors to housing and services. Council District 5 doesn't have a lot in the way of interim housing, so my team is going to be focused on finding new sites that we can develop for permanent supportive housing, master leasing existing buildings, because we need a place for folks to go. We need to connect them to housing. Tenant protections are incredibly important. The best way to prevent homelessness is to keep people housed, and the best way to do that is by making it harder to evict people. And so with the end of the COVID-era protections and the eviction moratorium, we have a real opportunity and obligation to enact some strong tenant protections to keep people housed. Otherwise, we're going to have a flood of evictions over the next few months, exacerbating our homeless crisis even worse. Those are the biggest things, immediate things. We're going to do a lot of good work around climate and sustainability and really making healthy, livable communities. That's reflective of the committees I'm on as well. And so thinking about how we can use smarter land use planning, smarter transportation policy and planning to create vibrant, diverse, equitable, walkable, green, healthy neighborhoods across Council District 5. The Santa Monica Mountains are a gem of Los Angeles, and we're fortunate to have a big chunk of the Santa Monica Mountains in District 5. One of my first jobs actually in law school, I worked at the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy. So for me, preserving our open space of what remains of it is really important, and being strategic about how we make sure there's connectivity. With the death of P-22, I think it really brought home for a lot of people that we need to be doing a better job of preserving what we have. And so there's a wildlife ordinance that's making its way through. We're going to be voting on that at the council in the next couple of weeks. I'm really excited about that. It provides a good balance between what works for the neighbors up in the hillsides and making sure wildlife has a place to move around. Building more parks, more open space, shade trees is not only good for people, but it's also good for birds and wildlife. DWP is an amazing opportunity for us to expand the programs available to folks. As a member of a bunch of different committees that touch DWP, most specifically the Environment and Energy Committee, of which I'm going to be chairing, there's a real opportunity to accelerate the transition to 100% renewable power, to make the electrical grid more resilient so that when it gets really hot or really cold and people's usage spikes, the power doesn't go out. Right now, if there's forest fires somewhere in another part of the state, often our power goes out because of that. Hospitals have backups, but people are on breathing machines at home and all sorts of other reasons why people need access to electricity. The cool thing about making the grid more resilient, hardening the grid as it were, is that it's going to create thousands and thousands of local jobs in this green energy sector, which is really exciting. LA should be at the epicenter of all that work, and we're starting to do some of that work through organizations like the LA Clean Tech Incubator, but there's so much more that we can be doing and transitioning folks into clean, green jobs. The general email is councilwoman.yaroslavsky@lacity.org, and the district website is councildistrict5.lacity.gov.